White people had a 400-500 year head start from everybody, right? Why all y'all ain't rich? You had what everybody else dreams about. Do you understand? You literally had privilege. You literally had advantages. You literally had an entire time period where you were all meant to be successful. You were all meant to thrive. You even tried to eradicate everybody else while you were meant to thrive. Nothing in your plan, nothing in your agenda worked. Now, here's what you did get. You did make a lot of house Negroes. You did make a lot of sellouts. You did convert a lot of people that look like me and people that look like my Latino friends into glorified white people. But you couldn't eradicate us. You couldn't stop us from being successful in some type of way. And you didn't make all your people successful. You can't even go back to Europe even if you wanted to. I can go back to Africa. Latinos can go back to Mexico, Puerto Rico. They can go back to where they come from. The Native Americans don't need to go nowhere because they already at home. But your little punk ass can't go nowhere because don't nobody want you nowhere. So I be puzzled. Because how is it you devilish ass children seem to think you doing God's work, seem to think that you're on the right side of history, seem to think that you're doing a good thing by making America great again. All it takes is a decision from Black, African American, Latino people, Native Americans. All it takes is a decision for us to turn this thing into a melting pot together. And your little ass, your little pale, ugly ass is done. I don't care about your little white supremacist assumptions. Quite frankly, I'm disappointed in the way y'all even express racism today. I mean, you can look at the history even now currently. The European reject is a very weak individual. It's a very weak group of individuals. Because let's think about it, right? They needed a group of people that wasn't white in order to build America. Why do y'all, what I want to know from Black, Latino people, Native Americans, why do y'all think they push for so hard, all this propaganda keeping Black, Hispanic, and Native American people apart? Why do you think that is? Why do you think they push so hard for the Black male and the Black woman to be apart? Why do you think they push so hard to portray us in these certain stereotypical lights to keep an agenda moving? Why do you think they push for this family to be disbanded so much? Because all it takes is a decision. And the moment we make that decision to put us first and start treating them exactly how they treat us, this shit is over. Let them assume what they gonna assume. They dumbasses been weak. In every world war, they needed to put Black and brown people on the front lines just to increase their chances of winning. The European reject ain't never did nothing by himself. They have always needed forced assistance in order to make something possible. Then they turn around after you have made their impossible thing possible and tell you lazy, and tell you ain't worth shit, and tell you're a criminal, and tell you ain't this and you ain't that. They have been deflecting, they have been projecting the entire time. They want you to look over here when you should be looking over here. Unity between Black, Hispanic, Native American people is needed. And I'm talking about the real Native Americans, not you Black people experiencing all the self-hatred. Move. I don't even want to talk to you. Move. I don't care if you're Christian, Hebrew, Israelite, what religion you believe in. I don't care if it's Buddha. I don't care if it's Allah. I don't care if it's Jesus. I don't care. I don't care if you are dark-skinned like me. I don't care if you're an albino. You are Black first before anything.
Hello lovelies, welcome back to today's episode. Let's get to hear this Black man is trying to let white people to know that this time around they've been having more than 100 years of white privilege and each and everything. Why they can't give space Black people to believe at least? Why each and everything is all about Black people? Let's get to hear him very well. Drop your thought in the comment section, then we'll come back with more commentary.
If white folks would have just left everybody alone and went to Antarctica or Iceland or some crap, Greenland or some crap, to start your own America there, wouldn't nobody care. Don't nobody care if you want to have an all-white America, but leave everybody else alone to have their own too. That's the problem that you seem to completely miss all throughout the current time and in history. Nobody gives a damn if you just leave everybody else alone. Do you understand that you are in the middle, you little pale-skinned vampire, you are in the middle of every global conflict there has ever been. Every assassination, every coup, you are in the middle of all of the messy shit all the time.
You are at the center of it. When people start investigating, oh, well, I wonder what happened here. I wonder who did this. I wonder how this came to be. Oh, lo and behold, look who's at the center of it, sitting in the damn middle of the room, in the middle of the mess, like a damn mischievous toddler, looking stupid in the face. White folks, specifically white Americans. But I want black people to remember something. White Americans want you to be exactly like them. The reason being, how that started, is because they are Europe's rejects. They didn't just leave. They think that they want you to believe that they just left to start America on this noble trip. No, they were kicked out. They are Europe's rejects. They were removed, thrown out, tossed out from Europe. So they have no place to go but America. So this is why they try to divide you from everybody else in the world. They create negative stereotypes for you. They create negative propaganda for you. They condition and brainwash you into believing the same propaganda. So much so that all the black people now in current time uphold all the negative stereotypes, uphold all of the negativity and bad habits that we have in this community today. We are seeing the result of that historical propaganda play out now, because you got kids that you can't even be positive with. You got adults that you can't even be positive with. And somehow we all sit up here and go, oh, well, it's the dang kids, these dang YNs, and it's the dang women, it's the dang men. No. You're actively contributing in what they want you to contribute in. Divisiveness. We are living and breathing the long-term effect, the result of brainwashing. But you still thinking it's a conspiracy theory, right? Let's go back to the pale-skinned vampire. We don't care about your sundown towns. We don't care about none of your little racist habits, none of your little racist thoughts. We don't care if you would just leave everybody alone. But you don't know. You seem to think the poor pale-skinned vampire, the poor whites, you know, because they kind of slow in the brain, right? They kind of slow. The poor whites, for whatever reason, believe still that nothing's happening in America. And they believe this because it's not happening to them. You know, that's funny, because during slavery, those same whites, oh, well, it's not so bad. We only essayed 1,000 of your women today. That's not that bad. We only executed 1,000,000 children today. We only essayed 1,000 children today. We only chopped off the foots and castrated 20,000 of your men today. It ain't that bad. Oh, I don't see what the hubbub is about. It's the same thing, just evolved. It's the same thing. We're dealing with the same kind of people. Now they just troll you. Now there is a marketplace for Black trauma. There's a marketplace for Black outrage. There's a marketplace to keep you triggered. There's profit margin in it. People can post videos on these apps triggering you and make money. Let them have their racism. Let them have their sundown towns. Let them have a white country, build a Black one. Let us have our Black sundown towns then. Let us have everything they gonna have. We should have the equal to it. Stop complaining. This is my message to Black folks now. Stop complaining about what they doing. Just match their energy. How did white people mess up a 400-year head start? How did this happen? How is it that a nation of people, a race of people, held people of color by the collar while they allowed their people to get a 400-year head start? You sabotaged anything we could have done. We couldn't read, we couldn't write, we couldn't unify in any way, we couldn't congregate in any way. We weren't even considered human. See, this is why I am so proud to be Black. I'm so proud to be a person of color, because we have the best story ever told. Regardless of what criticisms I've given my people, regardless of what critiques, regardless of what I've said about my people, I still view us as the greatest. And by us, I mean people of color. Don't you know who you are? These people held you by the collar, held you in place so you couldn't move, learn, do nothing by yourself. Also, they can stay ahead of you. Do you understand what that means? That means that they know how powerful you all are. They know how powerful a black woman is. They know how powerful a black man is. Because if they didn't, guess what? They would have pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps and built America on their own instead of going and kidnapping slaves. Oh, wait, white man, I know what you about to say. Oh, but black people weren't the only slaves. No, we weren't. But we were the only ones who've had our identity completely stripped from us. We are the only ones who have been completely separated and don't even know the origins of African Americans. Oh, but Africa sold you guys into slave. No. The very few chiefs, kings that did that cooperated, were considered outcasts, alienated, were considered traitors well before that transaction even happened. And plus, it's kind of hard to deny a transaction when we ain't got nothing but bows and arrows and y'all showing up on ships with rifles, making offers that we literally cannot refuse. Let's not forget how America plays. Let's not forget how America presents you with an offer, but the offer is really rhetorical. It's really a trick question. Throughout all the trial and tribulation, throughout all the horrific acts done by you, we are still here. So I ask again, how did you fumble a 400-year head start? How did you fumble a point in time where you were trying to completely eradicate people of color and you couldn't do it? That's why I be so mad at my people. That's why I be so disappointed in my people. That's why I be on y'all the way I be on y'all. Because these mothers know who you are. These mothers know how powerful you are. These mothers know your potential. They just convinced you that your potential is low. They convinced you that you're a nobody. They convinced you that you are nothing and you are lesser than them. When if that was true, they would have built America on their own. They wouldn't have had to go and get them slaves. They wouldn't have had to deal with Africa at all. They wouldn't have had to take out loans from that same tyrannical place that they say they fled from. They wouldn't have had to create alliances with France. They wouldn't have had to use Christianity to start the slave trade if they were so great. How did y'all white folks mess up a 400-year head start? It's the same thing. Every 4 years, they blaming every issue in America on people of color, on immigrants when you're an immigrant, on Joe Biden, on Kamala Harris, on Barack Obama. They blame it on everybody except the mother that created the system that we in. White people now are like, oh, woe is me, the country's going to shit. Oh my God, the immigrants. Oh my God, we're gonna lose this. Oh my God, the tyrannical government. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? The America's going to shit. No, America's been shit. You just now finding out. You late to the party. Why did you not listen to people of color when we told you all of this back then? See, when it was beneficial to be white, you ignored all of us. But now that your privilege is virtually gone, dead, because the same system, the same government, the same media that you put in place has gotten greedy and now sees you, white man, as a target too. Yes, you have privilege, or at least you had it. And this is usually where they start whining, oh, what privilege do I have today? The 400-year head start that your ancestors gave you, that's a privilege. The fact that y'all were allowed to run full sprint as far as you can run while everybody else was held in place trying to run, can't get nowhere because they are held by their collar, by your ancestors. How did y'all fumble a 400-year head start? God, I love being black. I love being a person of color, because do you understand the level of failure that is? Every 4 years, this damn country's on the verge of collapse. Every 4 years, it's the same policies being presented. Every 4 years, it's the same promises broken. And guess what you all do? Still participate in this system. But when shit go bad, hey, we need to change this. They're not going to change nothing. You know why? Because your vote is free. You don't demand nothing for your vote. You don't demand nothing for the dollar. You don't demand nothing for nothing. So why would they respect you? Why would they help you? Why would they rebuild America in the image it's supposed to be in when you're paying for corruption? Why would the devil change the devil's ways if you keep playing the same game that the devil likes to play? Here go the whites. It's Kamala Harris, it's Joe Biden, it's Barack Obama. No.
When you try to hear this black man, the way he's deeply expressing his feelings, trying to let people know that this time around, the black people are fed up or these lies from white people, because this white people has been having 400 years ahead of others in America. They've been enjoying their life because the system which was there, which is still here, was built to favor them, was built to elevate their life, to favor their life. But this time around, it's quite even funny to keep seeing them going after black people, trying to control them, trying to bring all those back days, trying to look away to bring segregation, martial law on them. And the black people has been tried for so long. If someone has been there in a slavery more than 400 years, they've been obeying you in each and everything from generation to generation. But till that, we are still seeing black people struggling to survive, struggling to have freedom of staying on this land. I think some people should even have shame or feel embarrassed. How this time around, you are so rage, you are so angry that black people are keep doing better, they are thriving, they are progressing. You don't want to see them as a human being doing better, and yet you are all human. How come this time around, you are keep bringing all sort of policies to go against black people, to make their life hard and harder, to make them feel inferior, because this is the weapon you were using during slavery, letting them know that they are trash, they are nothing. And this new administration, since they come back in place, they are still showing black people that they are the same people they used to oppress in those back years. No wonder when black people are coming out to say that we are done of each and everything, people need to understand that we are human beings. We need to be treated in an equal way. We are done of this sort of things you always bring on our way. This is something each and everyone need to be happy of. When we see black people try to come in now to address, to openly let us know their feelings, people need to keep being so encouraged. But because in our days we are keep seeing black people boldly coming out to say that we are done. You need to leave our society alone. And when you try to hear their speech, the way they express their feelings, the way they look even hurt, because how come someone has been living in decades of oppression and trauma, and this time around, whenever you want to say anything about them, you are saying you are done with their excuses. They always use racial issues, profiling, black history, and yet you don't want to give them peace. You want them to forget each and everything connect to them. You want them to sit there and keep watching you doing all sort of things on them, just like that, without reacting anything. I think in this century, people need to know that things are no longer the same. We are in a new era. People are so active. They are wake up. They are even ready to do what it may take to let their voice be heard, because if we are having this new generation, they also need to understand each and everything connected to their history. Who are you to stop them talking? Why you always say you are done? Let's show profiling from black people. It's something really irritating. They need to leave the past, be the past. Why they always use past to express their problems? If you would let black people to have peace, if you would let them to enjoy each and everything, if you would let them at least to have that peace, to be treated in an equal way, to be given the job they are qualified of, not to discriminate them in each and everything, you wouldn't see them talk about all these things. We would see them talking about the technology, chemistry, engineering, how to make America great again, how to unite this country. That system who were there for them has never stopped anything. They are still oppressing them in a modern way. They are still treated them in an unequal way, in a bad way. No wonder when we are seeing black people talking about their issue, you need to understand. If you don't want to understand, try to understand a little bit about their history, because there is no any way you are going to stop them talking. There is no any way you are going to threaten them or to intimidate them to feel less to talk about their issues. When this system is still here, there is no any way black people are going to let each and everything slide like that. We are human. We need freedom. We need the rights on each and everything. We need to have each and everything other people have. We need to have that right to do whatever we want. That's the only they are asking. They are not asking a lot of things. No wonder this time around, when we are keep seeing black people screaming about this system who never went away, people need to understand. People need to understand what is really happening. Guys, let me know what you think today's episode. Drop your thought in the comment section. Thank you for watching. See you in my next episode. Bye.